was filled with winding turns, lessons learned through trials and burns. Every mile a harder climb, every hope a borrowed time. But when your laughter filled the air, all the distance wasn't there, like the universe had planned for two strangers' hearts to stand. They warned us not to cross the line, drawn between your world and mine. But love was never made to stay inside the lines they drew that day. We were not born the same way, different storms, different rains, different frames, different graves, different cracks we walked alone. But somehow love found its flame through the loss and through the pain. Two souls learning how to stay, though we weren't born the same way. Maybe the stars were never fair, maybe fate just didn't care. Maybe hearts were meant to prove that love is stronger than the truth. Let them talk about the past, about the lines that shouldn't last, because the moment that we met was something they could not prevent. We were not born the same way, different skies, different rays, different worlds that shaped our names, different worlds that lit up flames. But in the end we found the same hope inside love's quiet flame. Two hearts stronger every day, though we weren't born the same And when the years begin to fall and time forgets the lines and walls, the only truth that still will stay is love that rose above the day. Two souls that chose to find their way. They told us love should know its place, stay inside the lines they made, follow rules we never wrote, carry words we never spoke. Your name was written far from mine, different roads, a different time, two separate worlds they kept apart, but they never ruled the heart. Every warning in the night, every whisper full of doubt, couldn't stop the spark inside, or the truth we found somehow. This is love without permission, irreparable, no condition. A fire just fall apart. But every rule they try to write faded when you held me tight, and every doubt they try to grow only made our courage show. We were never meant to be, at least that's what they claim. But destiny doesn't ask before it writes our names. This is love without permission, no approval, no condition, a truth they cannot deny, no matter how we try. Love without permission, beyond borders they envisioned, two souls walking side by side, even through the stormy night. Maybe we were meant to fight against the silence and the lies. Maybe love was never made to live inside their rules and pride. Let them judge, let them speak, let them call this reckless dream, because a love that dares to stay is stronger than what fear can say. This is love without permission, born from courage and conviction, a light that darkness can't control, burning deep within our souls. Love without permission, breaking chains of all decisions. If loving you is called a crime, then I'll choose you day or every time. One day the noise will fade away, the walls they built will slowly break, and all the voices filled with doubt will lose the power they shout. Because the truth the world ignored was something they had never seen before. A love so fearless, a love so true. You walked in wearing confidence, a world already in your hands, your future shining like the sun, a race already won. I came from shadows and mistakes, a life of chances left to take, a road that never promised gold, just stories yet untold. They said the gap was far too wide, too many things we couldn't hide, out begin to fade like night dissolving into day. How love isn't equal, they say. Different skies, a different way. Different names and different dreams. Nothing like what love should seem. Our love isn't equal at all. Different rise and different fall. But every time I see your face, I know love doesn't measure grace. You speak with ease and certainty, a life of clear stability, a place where every door is wide and fear has nowhere left to hide. I speak in fragments of the past, of storms I barely thought would pass, of nights that whispered quiet fears and dreams that took me years. They say you should have chosen more, a safer heart, a brighter shore, someone whose world reflects your own, a love already known. But every rule they tried to write collapsed when you held me that night, because the truth was always clear. Love grows wherever hearts draw near. Our love isn't equal, it's true. Different worlds between us two. Different paths that led us here. Through every doubt and every fear. Our love isn't equal, they say. Yet it grows stronger every day. Because the things they cannot see are what real love was meant to be. Maybe love was never fair. Maybe hearts were never square. Maybe balance isn't real. When two souls begin to feel, let them measure what they see. Status, wealth, identity. But they will never understand the way you hold my trembling hand. Our love isn't equal, they claim. Different stories, different names. Different lives we had before. Different hearts forevermore. The love was never meant to be a scale of perfect symmetry. Because the strongest truth of all is love that rises when we fall. So let them question what we are. Two distant lights, one rising star. Because the truth they never saw was written deeper than their law. You wore a crown made of city lights, walking through rooms where the diamonds shine. I stood outside with dust on my shoes, just a dreamer with nothing to lose. People said we were worlds apart, different stories, a different start. But when your eyes found mine that night, all the distance faded from sight. They whispered words we shouldn't hear, drawing lines between you and me. But hearts don't read society's rules, they only beat for what they see. Love beyond status, beyond the gold, beyond the stories the world has told. No throne, no title could change what's true. simple heart still beats for you. No walls of power, no class divide could break the promise we hold inside. In every world, in every view, love beyond status leads me to you. You had a future already drawn, silk and silver from dusk to dawn. I had a map full of winding roads, a restless soul with a heavy load. They try to tell you who you should be, someone richer, someone like me, but you just smiled and took her hand like love was something they'd never understand. They built their castles 12 wide, thinking hearts could be controlled, but truth is stronger than their pride, and in love is worth more than their gold. Love beyond status, beyond the name, beyond the fortune, beyond the fame. No crown or kingdom could make me leave. What we have is what I believe. No rules of power, no grand design could separate your heart from mine. In every world, in every view, love beyond status leads me to you. Maybe we're rebels in their eyes, maybe we're breaking their old disguise, but if loving you is crossing the line, then I'll cross it every time. Let them talk, let them stare, let them say it isn't fair. We're writing a story they can't rewrite. Two souls burning brighter than light. Love beyond status, beyond the grove, where hearts strung iron more than stone. No wealth could buy what we became, a fearless love without a name. No chains of rank, no royal decree could ever take your hand from me. In every world, in every view, love beyond status leads me to you. When other kingdoms fade away and silent crowns turn into clay, one truth will stand the test of time. Your heart forever next to mine. No throne, no crown, no world to choose could ever make this love lose, because the greatest truth I knew was love beyond status, was loving you. You are beneath the neon sky, a city built of glass and light, where every dream is dressed in gold, and every story has been told. I come from dusty roads and rain, from quiet nights and window panes, where simple stars still guide the way, and hope survives another day. They say our paths were never meant to cross within this universe. Two distant lines that never meet, two different dreams, two different streets. But something in the way you smile made all the miles feel worth worth the while. We're from different worlds, from different skies, different stories, different lives, but somehow fate still drew the line between your heart and mine. From different worlds, different stars, different roads that brought us far. And though the distance seems so wide, your soul still found mine. You speak in words of velvet rooms, of silver nights and crystal moons, where every door just opens wide and every fear is locked outside. I speak in broken melodies of windy hills and restless seas, where every dream must fight to grow through storms the world may never know. They told us love can't cross the line between your word and one like mine. But hearts don't live by rules or walls, they only answer when love calls. We're from different worlds, different skies, different futures in our eyes, but somehow time still intertwined your destiny with mine. From different worlds, different skies, different wounds and different scars, yet every road we wander through was leading me to you. Maybe the stars had different plans. Maybe the sky misunderstood. Maybe the universe just knew two lonely hearts that needed truth. If love was written far away, across the night and through the gray, then every step and every fall was just to bring us through it all. We're from different worlds, different skies, different fears and lullabies, but something stronger pulled the thread of every word we said. From different worlds, different dreams, nothing's ever as it seems. Two distant leaves that somehow grew into you. So true. So let them say it can't be real to souls that fake should never see you, because the stars above still shine on every heart that dares to try. And though our worlds were far apart, the universe still played its part. Two different parts, one truth unfolds. Our love was born. Between crown and heart, I stand tonight. Between the throne and love's pure light, a kingdom calling toward my name. But your voice burns like a flame. Between crown and heart, I'm torn apart. Duty's chain against my heart. If loving you means losing all, then let the kingdom fall. Silken banners fill the sky, while hidden tears refuse to dry. A royal life of grand design, where every fate is pre-signed. They tell me love must serve the throne, never wander on its own, never choose a rebel flame, never risk the royal name. But every rule begins to break, every promise starts to shake. When your laughter fills the night, like freedom dressed in silver light. The crown is heavy on my soul, but loving you makes me whole. What's the worth of golden rain if my heart lives locked in chains? Between crown and heart, I stand tonight. Between the throne and love's pure light, a kingdom begging me to stay. But your life called me right. Between crown and heart, I choose my part. Beyond the fear, beyond the yard. If loving you rewrites my fate, then I will abdicate. Let history write what it will. A rebel king, a broken will. But crowns were made by human hands, while love was written in the sands. And when the banners fall to dust and thrones collapse from pride and rust, one truth will live beyond the start, the war between crown and heart. Between crown and heart, I finally see what kind of king I want to be. Not one who rules the world with fear, but one who keeps in all the love. Between crown and heart, I take the fall, choosing love above it all. Because no throne could ever start a kingdom stronger than a heart. So let the trumpets fade away, let royal life and slowly stray. For every crown must play its part. They drew the lines before we met, rules written deep in stone, names and futures already set. different shores, too far for one shared heart. But every step we tried to hide only made truth appear. Because the more they pushed aside, the closer you drew near. They built their well with fear and pride to keep our worlds apart. But every wall they raised outside collapsed inside my heart. This is a love not approved, a risk they can't excuse, a dream they wanted removed, a flame they tried to lose. No signatures of grace, no promise carved in stone. Still every empty space feels like our love has grown. Maybe we're rebels in their eyes, maybe we crossed their sacred lines. But if love needs permission to survive, then maybe their world was never alive. Let the rumors rise like rain, let them judge and let them blame. Because the love that dares to stay is stronger than what they say. This is a love not approved, yet stronger every day. A truth they tried to remove, but never fade away. No power could erase the bond our hearts have proved. Because the bravest place is love proof. One day the noise will disappear, the walls will slowly fall, and all the voices filled with fear won't matter much at all. Because when time has made it smooth and every